Your faves hate black people, and you do too. And it's time that we talk about that today. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina and I've been putting on making this video all week because I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm sick and I'm over it, and there's nothing more I can say that hasn't been said already. So this might just be a rant video, I don't know. But I feel like after a certain point, there's only so much I can take that I have to speak. Ranting on Twitter isn't enough anymore. I have to make a video about this because it's been going on literally for the past 7-8 days. I can't take it anymore. So we're gonna talk about K-pop and everything that's been happening in the K-pop industry regarding my community, because what the hell? If you don't know what's been going on, basically ever since April Fool's Day, the K-pop industry has been making a joke out of black people, or they think that we're clowns or that we don't matter. They're not saying it, but it certainly feels like it. And I don't know, I just feel like at this point in time, in the year of 2025, there is no excuse for anything that's going on, and any apology that comes out of these idols within the next few days, some have already put out apologies. I can't say that I care anymore. I'm over all of it. But why don't we break down what's been happening, okay? Because I've been making a list of everything that's been going on this week, because it's been so much that I've had to make a list about it. Let me preface this by saying I was off of Twitter the entire month of March. I took a social media break because everything that's going on in the world, I was seriously feeling like the lowest of the low mentally. And so I just needed a social media break. Imagine my surprise. The first day I get back on the app, I see people who don't look like my shade saying the world-renowned famous word nigga. Wow, again, not surprising. I feel like I've been here before. I've talked about the anti-blackness in K-pop. I've made a video about this years ago. I feel like I need to restate some things though, because I feel like no matter how many times groups get called out for this, they don't learn their lesson because they don't care. So I'm here to just state my feelings and opinions, but just know that I literally feel so overwhelmed. I took a whole month off of social media just to come back and seeing any other race say the word, defend the people who say the word who are not my shade, and it's like I can't do it. So yeah, let's talk about this one by one. This is all of the stuff that I've seen the past week. I've been back online. Blackpink, hi girlies, you all have now released solo music. That's great, that's dandy. Saying nigga in trainee videos, let's talk about that. What made you want to do that? A lot of people have been lying on the internet. I don't know who leaked what. I don't know. I literally just got on the internet and saw it. I don't really know the backstory. I don't care to know the backstory. All I know is that I saw 3 out of the 4 members of Blackpink saying that word in trainee videos. In a song, yes, but does it matter? No. And I can't stress this enough, right? Because a lot of, again, people that are not my shade, non-black people keep on saying it was in a song, it doesn't matter. Why are you speaking? Why are you talking to me about what should be seen as offensive to me? It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. So why are you talking to me? That's number one. Number 2, there are also black people defending this. Okay, if you don't feel like you're owed an apology, that's something that you have to deal with outside of the internet. I can't tell you why the way you're moving is a little bit coonish. That's none of my business. At the end of the day, what they said, and they should address and apologize for. But here's the thing, as soon as I saw those clips circulating, I knew that the girls weren't going to speak on anything because they don't stand for anything. I can't remember the last time Blackpink ever really apologized for anything serious. Because this offense, this is not their first rodeo. I'm looking specifically at Lisa, Lil Miss Blackcent, Lil Miss Box Braids every now and then when the concept fits her music. Yeah, not this group's first offense of doing this, and they still have never once stated an apology. They'll apologize for a dating scandal, they'll apologize for a vape, but God forbid the monkeys want you to apologize to us, and now it's crickets. It's silence. It's quiet out here. No back talk apparently. That's crazy. They're going on posting like everything is normal. And I know. What do I expect at this point? But honestly, You can't watch those trainee videos and think that they didn't know what's going on. Jennie and Rose especially. Like, I'm confused. I'm confused as to why we're trying to excuse this. A lot of blinks are trying to excuse it. For what? I don't know, because I can guarantee a lot of y'all trying to excuse it are not this. Y'all are not this. You're not black. Shut up. I'm begging. Because whether they were 14, which they weren't, you guys can stop lying. A lot of you guys are trying to use age to back it up. A lot of you guys are trying to use, oh, well, the company made them do it. I don't care. Look, we all know that YG, the K-pop industry in general, but especially YG, they like to use K-pop training as a black people simulator. They love to take our culture because K-pop is made of culture vultures. They take from everything, but especially black people. So am I surprised that when I opened those training videos, I heard not only the N-word, but the way that they were dressed, their mannerisms, the way that they rapped, everything was giving caricature. Not surprising. So I don't really care if the company forced them, which I highly doubt. They could have said no. They could have used another word instead of that one. They chose to do it, and yet no apology in sight, because I'm sure they see it. They see everything else involving them and what people are saying about them, and they don't hesitate to put out an apology for literally anything else. But for this, they've been silent all week, so therefore I don't want to hear anything. I'm sick and I'm tired. And the worst part about it is I was like in the middle of making like a really long in-depth video on each of the girls' solo careers and how I honestly am loving their rollout, and I'm loving the music that they're putting out, and I'm very proud of them for breaking away from that company and Teddy and all of their music. But then I have to remember, as soon as you give them their 10s, as soon as you give any K-pop group their 10s, they kind of remind you like, hey, we ain't shit. So that video is probably never seeing the light of day. So yeah, that's the first thing I saw when I got back on Twitter or X.com. I would tell them to do better, but again, they don't care about my ass. They don't care. Lisa's off promoting White Lotus. Jennie is the latest one to release a solo album, so she really doesn't care. Rose, she's gonna keep on posting on social media and being chronically online like we know that she is and still ignore it. Jisoo, Jisoo's catching a lot of lashings. I don't know why. She didn't say anything, but who knows? Maybe behind closed doors they all say it. I wouldn't put it past them at this point. Now let's get on to Young Posse. Now this is another, I think, YG group. I actually don't know. I'm pretty sure they are though, because the way that they have been looking, I've seen this group. I peeped them for about a few months now. Ever since their Santa Claus in the Hood song leaked or whatever, I've been peeping those girls for who they really are. But one member, I'm pretty sure was the rapper of the group, because of course it is. It always is. Sang Zigga instead of nigga on a variety show. I don't know who that member is. I don't care to know her name. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? You couldn't have just said bro or homie, Zigga. I don't know if they've released a statement about that. I highly doubt it. But it's just the fact that, like, why? Like, why? Why? And here's the thing, right? It was her choice to do that. I'm pretty sure she was freestyling. It wasn't even a cover of a song. She was freestyling on the variety show, and she still chose to use that word. Do you see why I'm getting upset? There's no one holding these people at gunpoint, forcing them to say the N-word. You don't have to say that word. You don't have to say it. You choose to say it. There's no reason why a non-black person should be saying that word more than me. I don't even use that word on a day-to-day basis, and yet I swear every time I log onto Twitter lately, I'm seeing a new person in the K-pop industry say that word in a new context, an overused context, a context that they have no business being involved in. So yeah, I don't know anything about this group. I don't know what's going on. I've never cared to check in on them, because why? Everything about them and their look and their sound, it's just never appealed to me. And again, especially when the Santa Claus in the Hood, I saw the concept photo for that, I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I'm not doing that, and you shouldn't either. Oh, I should probably take my hair out. Hold on. Like, I feel like I need to like let loose. I'm like, I'm getting very, very upset. Yeah, I don't know if their company released an apology. I don't really care. Especially when you're, again, freestyling. You chose to do that, like for real. There was no song backtrack backing you up with the word in it. Zigga. Okay. Now let's see. We have CL. Now CL is a known. How do I put this? Because I'm actually, here's the thing, right? I like CL. I like her music. I think that she is kind of a fashion icon. If only she stayed in her lane in fashion and we wouldn't have to keep doing this with her, then I would respect her more. But it seems like every time she's in the spotlight, there's always like a leak of some sort, especially with her and her group 21. Oh, let me not go there. This is another YG group. I don't know what's going on in that company. I honestly need them gone. She's a known perpetrator of this. She is known to put on a persona, dare I say. And I guess a video of her as a teen leaked on Twitter. I don't know who keeps leaking these, and honestly, whoever is, I don't know if I should say thank you because you've honestly been like ruining my week. I'm so tired. But also thanks, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, CL, I don't know if this is an original song or not, but in the clip, I'm sure everyone who's into K-pop has seen this clip because it's been circulating all over the internet. But she's basically singing in her kitchen living room area, and she's saying the word nigga at least 20 times in that video. And she's feeling herself like, what did she say? She was like, my niggas pull triggers. She's not a serious person, and I hate that I laughed because honestly a lot of people are laughing at it because the video is just, it's the way that she's so confident in saying it. Where do you get that confidence from? And also, here's another thing, right? It's always, not always, but at least 80% of the time, the members of these K-pop groups that end up doing this are the ones who grew up internationally, like in the West, outside of South Korea. You should know better, which is why I feel like us constantly having to tell them why this is wrong, it just feels redundant, feels repetitive, it feels like a waste of time. As CL especially, like girl, what? This isn't her first strike. This is honestly probably her 10th. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this video leaks. I don't know why she's doing it. She hasn't made a statement as far as I know. I haven't seen anything because why would she? I think that's the YG way of doing things where like none of them, the girl group specifically, make statements about anything. I don't know why. Do I think the statement would be a good statement? No, because I'm about to get to another girl group whose apologies and statements meant literally nothing to me and ruined my week even more. But with CL, at your grown age, I know you're online. I know you know how to make a big girl apology. Where is it at? I'm waiting. Oh, I'm gonna get nothing? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You know, it's crazy how they always like to take from Black people because they don't understand us, our community, our culture, why we do the things that we do. And then when we feel the need to educate, because honestly, Black people, we're too nice. We're too nice. We like to give too much leeway. I feel like at this point, again, we shouldn't have to educate. But when we do feel the need to educate, you guys still don't apologize for shit. You don't understand anything of what you did and why it was offensive. CL, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you especially. Now, CL, like I said, she's a mogul. She's making money. She's not worried about this. All of these people I'm talking about, they're not worried about this. And which is why I don't think they're sincere. If they were to give an apology, they're not sincere about it. I don't want it. But I just think it's funny at this point. Like, nothing can shock me. I've been into K-pop for like 10 years now at this point. Nothing really shocks me anymore, but that video of CL almost like, I was blown away. I was laughing, but I was blown away. Like, it's just the confidence in which she said it. I don't know where she's getting this from. I don't understand where any of them are getting it from. Like, what happened to Shame? Anyway, let's get into Kiss of Life. Now, I'm gonna go in depth with this situation because what the hell is going on in that company, what's going on in that group, you have to tell me because nothing about it is making sense. This was also one of the first things I saw. I saw the Blackpink leaks and then I saw the Kiss of Life stuff, and it was at the same time, and I literally felt the vitriol, the anger, I felt it all in me all at the same time. Because what do you mean you're having a Black cosplay party, a hip-hop themed party? Are you crazy? Yes, you are. Julie, I'm gonna get on you in a second, girly. But they're all, let's just say, they are all insane. They're all in the wrong, and I honestly need them to leave. Disband. again, because I was off the internet for a while, I got back on in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the scandal happening, I was losing context. Everyone was tweeting all at once. I didn't know. It took me in like a few hours to understand what was going on. But basically, from what I could gather, it was Julie's birthday a week ago. They wanted to celebrate her birthday on live with the fans. And the theme of the party was a hip-hop theme party in which they all dressed up as a hip-hop concept, quote-unquote concept. I don't even know how to describe what I saw, because there are layers to this live. I don't think you guys understand. Unless you've seen clips, you don't understand how bad this is. They not only dress the part, the black sense, the nicknames they were giving each other, the alter egos they were giving each other. Taco Bell, I'm gonna get on your ass in a second, because ooh, I saw collard greens on the table. I saw mac and cheese, sweet potatoes. I saw cornbread, I think. They literally did their research, but in the wrong places. Like, how are you gonna research what it takes to have a hip-hop themed party, but then not understand what it takes to have a hip-hop themed party? What it takes is you being black. You're not black. You're not black. Because let's just be clear, that wasn't a hip-hop themed party. That was a black people cosplay party. The only thing that would have sent it over the edge was possible blackface, but at this point, they basically did that. No one wants to say it for some reason, but if you're willing to dress like us based off of pictures of random black men in the hood, if you're willing to talk in black sense for the whole live, if you're willing to talk about stealing men, if you're willing to eat our soul food for the sake of this concept, you're basically doing blackface. There is no if, and, or but about it. That's what they did. And I think the live lasted for like an hour, maybe longer. All of the girls, I can't stress this enough, are guilty. But Julie, let me get on you for a second. You are not a first-time offender either. You are not. You are not. Almost exactly a year ago, weren't you apologizing for saying the N-word? Oh, it was like clockwork. And you said that you were going to try to do better and that you didn't understand, which again, I doubt. You grew up in Hawaii, girl. There's no way you did not know that that word could not come out of your mouth. There's no way you didn't know. And that you would educate yourself and try to do better. Fast forward to a week ago. Is this better? Hip-hop themed party. I can't express my feelings when I first saw the clip circulating. I honestly felt like they were calling me the hard ER. If that's how they see hip-hop and black people, they might as well could have been calling me that. Like, what is their issue? Taco Bell, let's get to you. I personally feel like I am not the voice of this because the Latino community are already going really hard on Bell specifically, and the group in general, but specifically Bell, because calling yourself Taco Bell during a live, and again, her and Julie, it was something about like, oh, stealing my man, that's not a bestie. Again, I feel like I'm not the voice for the Latinx community, but I will say, what is wrong with you? Like, why? Is that how you see black people, Latino people, these communities that basically help you have a career? Because let's just be clear, their sound, their concepts, no different than Blackpink, CL21, Young Posse. Y'all are no different. Y'all like to take. Y'all like to take. You wouldn't have a career without us. And yet you like to mock everything that we love, everything that we've created, and you like to make them stereotypical. You like to make caricatures out of stuff that comes from our community because you don't know what it's about. You like to take, but you don't know what it's about. And yeah, you could educate yourself on it, but you are all, at this point, 20-something-year-olds. And again, it's not your first offense. If you wanted to educate yourself, you would have done it, but you didn't. And I know you don't care. I know based off of both of your apologies. Now I'm going to dissect both apologies. One is from the company, one is from the group. Let's talk about these apologies because this is like, I feel like the group apology, one of the worst I've seen in a while. I don't know why. Something about it. It's just like, usually most K-pop groups I feel like have a standard format, layout, template for an apology. They all follow the same script. But for this one, I feel like it hits a little harder because they all hand wrote it. They all had a part in the group one, and yet You could tell because they all wrote something in it that they don't understand what they did wrong. So I'm gonna go based off of the company apology first. This was made, I think, 5 days ago at the time of me recording this. Their company S2 Entertainment made a statement. Hello, this is S2 Entertainment. We apologize for the use of language and style in our birthday content uploaded yesterday that conforms to stereotypes of certain races. What language? What style? What are you apologizing for? What stereotypes and what races? Be specific. This is like the same gripe I'm gonna have in the group one, but with company apologies, this is pretty standard. The companies aren't gonna really state a real apology. But let me continue. The content was based on an old school hip hop style as described, and we intended to portray that vibe in a way that was respectful of the culture, but we were not fully aware that it could come across in a way that reinforced stereotypes of certain races. What do you think old school hip hop is about? Like, genuinely, what do you think it is? Is it 10 snapbacks on your head like Natty was wearing? Is it half braids in your hair, half flat ironed? Is it baggy clothes? You didn't think that was stereotypical? At everyone's grown age, are we serious? You're not serious. You knew what you were doing. We sincerely apologize to anyone who may have been offended by this. Who? What group of people would get offended over old school hip hop style, quote unquote? What group of people? Be specific. Who would get offended by this? Our members take this matter seriously, and we will be more mindful and respectful when borrowing cultural references in the future. We will be removing all relevant content accordingly. Again, we apologize to anyone who has been hurt by this. This is basically a copy and paste statement from when Julie said the N-word. Almost word for bar, take out like the second paragraph about like old school hip hop content. Same thing. Our members take this matter very seriously, and we will be more mindful and blah, blah, blah. Basically same copy paste apology. That's what I expected from the company. Let's get into the girls' apology. Now, I'm not a big fan of Kiss of Life. I've only heard a few songs and I like them, but it's not enough to make me a fan of the group. So I can't tell which member wrote which paragraph, and honestly, I don't think it matters because it's all shit. So let's get into this. To all our kissies, that's the name of the fandom, we really want to sincerely apologize for the content that was uploaded that caused so much disappointment to our fans. What content? I can't stress this enough. You're apologizing, but what are you apologizing for? Let me just say, if I logged onto twitter.com the day that this apology came out, I would not have known what they were talking about. I mean, I could have guessed because, again, tale as old as time in the K-pop industry. This is not the first time this has happened. I could have taken a guess, but based off of this apology, if you were to like hand me this handwritten note, I wouldn't know what you were talking about. What content? What content was uploaded that caused so much disappointment to your fans? What group of fans were disappointed? Okay. We have to seem calm on the outside, but the time leading up to this letter has honestly been hard. Why should I care about your feelings? Why should I care about how hard it has been for you to give an apology? Are you stupid? Although we wanted to and should have addressed this sooner, we are taking the first opportunity to address it now. Mind you, this was made after like several days of the internet basically losing their mind. You had several opportunities. You had the opportunity to not do it at all. Let's just be clear. After the first time you apologized for something again like this a year ago. Whatever. We are sorry. Our intention was to show how much we love the category of old school hip hop because it greatly influences our music. It influences your music. Okay. You wanted to show appreciation. Okay. So basically what you're saying is you don't know what hip hop is, and yet you're taking from it. If you think that's the basis, the concept of hip hop, what your live was, you don't know hip hop, and so you shouldn't be taking from something you don't know. Point blank, period. Like that's basically the gist of this video anyway, but I digress. Let's go on. While shooting the content, we ended up taking the concept too far. Again, what content, what concept? Using hip hop as a concept, whether it be for a birthday live, wildly enough, or a music video, or a song, it's like, it gives me the ick. Using my culture for a concept gives me the ick. But again, I digress. That's what everyone in K-pop does, and that's what's just normal. Whatever. We realize now that our content was culturally insensitive and take full responsibility for our actions and can only promise to do better. Insensitive to what culture? See, I know I'm like griping on the same thing, but really, would you be able to tell me who they're talking about? What community they're apologizing to, what they're apologizing for? Would you be able to tell me? And you realize now that your content was culturally insensitive. You didn't think mocking the way that someone spoke, the way that someone dressed, what we ate. You didn't think that was insensitive? Again, at your grown age, y'all are too grown. It's giving that you don't care at all and that you're seeing your numbers go down, which they are. Kiss of Life, I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from this. It was really bad. Like, that live was terrible. I don't know if they're going to come back from this. I feel like this apology didn't really come from the heart. It came from the loss of streams, followers, and it's going to steadily decline too until people forget about it, because they always do. But this letter was made out of desperation. This letter is not a real apology, but let's move on. We've spent the past few days learning and reflecting how our actions have disappointed many of us. No, many of you. Sorry, many of you. We know that there is nothing we can say or do that will magically fix the mistake we made. The only thing that we can promise is that we'll continue to educate ourselves and show our sincerity through our actions rather than words. Educating yourselves. You know, it's never too late to learn. I am a firm believer of that. It's never too late to learn more about other people, their background, their cultures, whatever. However, you guys should know better. When it comes to this stuff, you should really know better, especially because, again, it's not your first time going through this. You already apologized once for basically the same thing a year ago, and it just shows that you didn't take a year to learn anything. You didn't try, you didn't want to, you didn't care enough, and now you're back here again. Editing Marina here. I just want to cut in and say, I'm pretty sure, and like I saw footage, not footage, but like screenshots of this, so I know it's true. Before they went live, I don't know which member it was, I'm pretty sure it was Belle, messaged the fans and was like, hey, we're about to go on live, and once you see this live for Julie's birthday, please don't leave the fandom. This in itself implies that she and probably the rest of the girls already knew what was about to go down. She said, please don't leave the fandom over this, like almost word for word, bar for bar. There's no need to educate them because they already know. They know, they just don't care, like at all. How are you going to beg the fans that you are mocking and making fun of to not leave the fandom after this? Basically guilting them before you even do the live. In that time, they could have stopped what they were doing and changed their mind and was like, maybe we shouldn't do this. Because hey, if they don't care about black people, fine. They at least care about their bag. If they were really that scared about losing their bag, losing their check, they should have just stayed away and didn't do that. But instead they did, because they don't care at all. I just feel like the amount of time you take to reflect on this, it's not going to do anything. You could go the rest of your career without making this sort of content, this insensitive concept. You could go the rest of your career without doing this again. I feel like the trust with you and your fandom is gone though. If this is how you see black people in our culture and you're willing to post it in front of the camera, what are you doing off camera? Like, that's what I've been thinking this entire week. If you felt comfortable enough to do that in front of like hundreds of thousands of your fans during a live, what else are you comfortable doing behind camera? I feel like the trust is gone. You could go the rest of your career without any more scandals involving this stuff, but your respect for black people, there probably was none to begin with. Not really. Our mission has always been to spread confidence and love through our music. A lot of your fan accounts specifically have been closing down lately because they are ran by people of color, specifically black people and Latino people. And I feel like you didn't realize that, or maybe you did, I don't know. But a lot of them are saying that the love wasn't passed down through every community. Like, maybe me, people like me, aren't meant to be a part of your fandom. The music you're making, the love that you're sharing through your music, it's not made for me. It's made to mock me, it feels like. It's not made for me. We truly regret the choices we made and are genuinely sorry for any pain and distress we have caused our fans. Again, can't stress this enough. What choice did you make? What did you do? This situation has been a valuable learning experience for us. Being racist has been a learning experience for you? Exactly, geese, because alright, our kissy support means the world to us and we will continue to honor you and honor you all in every possible way. Basically, sorry, we didn't mean it, give us money. Your support means everything. Your money means everything. Don't leave. We didn't mean it. That concept that we did that we didn't even like really touch on for real, we didn't mean to be insensitive about it. That content that we made that we're not really gonna address for real, we didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. We took it too far. What is it? you speak of, oh, we don't need to talk about that, for real. Just know that we're sorry and that you should keep giving us money. Yeah, that was their apology. This was made 2 days ago? What a mess. I never seen a downfall this rapid in my life. It's gotten to the point where honestly, a lot of non-K-pop fans saw that live too. I think y'all are kind of like done for a while. Again, people are gonna forget because they always forget and they always excuse, and you guys are gonna come back fine. But I think for the time being, I heard that y'all are gonna have a summer comeback soon. I would nip that in the bud, at least until like winter. That's how long people's memories take to just like rewire. Though I wish you guys would just stay gone. If I'm being honest, that's never gonna happen. Best believe it's not the right time to start doing promotional stuff. A lot of people are upset, rightfully so. All this to say that Kiss of Life isn't shit. This apology, both apologies, are terrible. The world keeps turning. Moving on. BM, Big Matthew, step up to the front. This happened last night. When I tell you this has been happening all week, I mean it. Back-to-back offenses. I don't know what's going on over there in South Korea, and my black ass doesn't need to know, and yet this has been my business for the past week that I've been back online. No breaks, no breaks. Big Matthew decided to get on live. He was rapping over some song. I don't know which song. I saw the clip, but I don't know what song it is. He was rapping over some song and said the N-word, because of course he did. Honestly, I feel like this should not be a surprise. Him of all people, not surprising. I feel like he definitely says it behind closed doors, but who am I? The fact that this is considered like his first offense shouldn't be. I feel like his is long overdue, but that's besides the point. Yeah, he said the N-word, and when he got called out for it, he decided to go on TikTok live last night and basically let fans explain to him why it was wrong, as if he's a child and not like a 30-something-year-old man. And again, this fits into what I was talking about before, where it's always the people that grow up in the West that are saying this. He is literally an Asian man from California. Nothing about this situation is surprising to me. And I think the most surprising thing about it is the fact that, again, he got on live and black people actually told him word for word, bar for bar, why what he did was wrong. Now, a lot of people are taking this many different ways. If you like this approach, fine. I, again, feel like at your grown age, you don't need us to tell you why what you did is wrong. You know why, and you just don't care. And honestly, from what I've heard, because I went to sleep knowing that the live was going on. I haven't heard anything since I woke up. I don't know if he actually apologized for real. I think I saw something along the lines of him saying, oh, but I didn't really say it, but I'm still sorry, but I didn't really say it. I like muttered it or something like that. I haven't seen a real apology from him or heard it. Maybe I should go back and watch the live, but honestly, I was getting secondhand embarrassment. I didn't want to, and I'm not going to. If he did apologize though, that's great. Ask me if I care. One thing I will say, there was one person on the live, and this person was funny. I don't remember I don't know who it is, but there was one person on the live that basically called him out for like 5 minutes, maybe longer. Again, I wasn't watching, I just saw this clip of it, and she was like, you have a Frederick Douglass tattoo and you still said it. I used to be a fan of Card, not that passionate of a fan. I just like some of their songs. I'm not a fan of Big Matthew or his music. I did not know that this man had a Frederick Douglass tattoo. One, that's kind of insane. Two, even more insane to say that word with that tattoo on. You're going to hell. I don't know what that tattoo is. I don't need to know. Why do you have a Frederick Douglass tattoo? Because obviously that means nothing to you. It gives honestly performative, because why do you have that on you? And you're out here saying that word. Why do you have that on you? Again, this is my first time I've heard about it. Maybe he's always had it for years. Maybe he recently got it. I don't know. And again, I don't care. I just feel like now that we're all caught up and we know what's going on, I need to understand what's it going to take for them to leave us alone. I don't know if it's like the K-pop industry, or I don't know what's going on. This is like the most offenses I've seen in such a short amount of time. I'm like so flabbergasted by what's happening. I always knew that K-pop, they don't really care about black people. They don't really do a good job of showing it if they do, so that they don't really care all that much. I've always known that as a K-pop fan. And honestly, at some point I stopped making excuses like I did years ago when I was like a really hardcore stan. At this point, I'm a casual listener of K-pop. I'm not really in it. I listen to who I listen to. But I don't go looking for groups anymore. I don't go searching for music. I like what I like and I stay in my zone. It's not until stuff like this happens that I need to get out of my little bubble and address what's going on. You would think after 10 years something would change. Because again, I've been in this shit for 10 years. Nothing has changed. The apologies still look the same. The acts, the offenses that are taking place, still the same. Members looking washed up and apologizing and looking teary-eyed on stage. I'm talking about you, Julie. People keep circulating that clip of Julie crying on stage. I don't care. That's the gist of it. Just leave Black people, Latino people, every other community that you keep stealing from to help make your industry thrive, leave us alone. You're already profiting off of everything that we're about. You don't need to do these things. You don't have to do this. There's a respectful way to appreciate someone else's culture. Cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation, two totally different things, and the line is super thin, and there's always idols tightrope walking across that line. There's only so much education that Black people can give you, you know, which is why I feel like that live with BM, it was honestly counterproductive. He knew what he did was wrong. He knew why. Giving us the space to tell you that, it honestly gave making sure Black women educate everyone in the world, like we always have to do. It gave that. We can't keep doing this. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not here to educate, I'm here to rant. I'm tired, and I don't know what it's gonna take for a sincere apology to come. I will say, in my time of being a K-pop fan, I've maybe seen like a handful of sincere apologies from groups, and those groups have never committed the same acts. I'm not going to say what groups, because I also think it's weird when you guys are like, my faves would never do this. I know that my faves are in the corner laughing about this because they would never do it. The fans that do that too, y'all are weird. I see you. Yay, your fave isn't a culture vulture. Yay, your fave isn't being racist. Do they want a cookie? Do you want a cookie for standing someone who isn't hating Black people? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. But my point is, because I've been in this forever, I've seen so many different groups do this over and over again, to the point where I'm at my limit. I reached it a while ago. There's not a single group in the K-pop industry that I can think of off the top of my head that hasn't done something offensive, whether it be out of their own mouth or with the concepts they use for their comebacks, or in their lyrics, or in their performances, or how they dress, and so on and so forth. There's always something going on, and they never learn their lesson. You would think they would. So like, where do we go from here? We try to hold them accountable, but then you have like the stands, the really, really stupid, ignorant stands that are gonna follow these groups no matter what and call you crazy and gaslight you for wanting an apology from these people. Those same stands are going to give these groups money no matter what. I'm sure those stands are going to be in my comments too, being like, oh, well, you guys will never be satisfied with what they say. You guys are always mad about something. Yeah, because they're always doing it. You want me to take this pity apology that's coming from all these idols constantly? How many apologies do I have to take to realize that y'all don't mean it? These groups don't mean it. It's bad enough when groups do this. Fans, they're not paying you to be a fan. You don't need to be up their asses all the time. I'm begging you. Especially again, if you're not Black, you can get out of my face. Leave me alone. If we're not satisfied with that apology, aw, boo-hoo, go cry about it. Give them your money. I'm sure they'll appreciate it because they know that they have you wrapped around their finger. They're going to do what they can to make sure that you stay there, including giving a BS apology so you can tell us to shut up when we get basically scraps. I don't really know what else to say. I don't know how to feel about it anymore. I just knew, like, this is a lot of pensive energy again from like 7-8 days straight of just constant. The K-pop industry has a lot of work to do. Since its creation, it has had a lot of work to do. The K-pop industry is built off of taking from literally everyone. So it might take time for them to educate themselves and grow. Not this much time though. At this point, we have to realize that they just don't want to change. They don't want to grow. And I've come to accept that, I think. I've come to accept that, and I've come to accept that these fan bases, y'all don't care either. Y'all don't care about any of the problematic stuff that your fave does, as long as they keep on putting out songs that you like, or as long as they continue to make good performances or look the way that they do. You don't really care about how other fans feel. Everything about this industry, this genre of music, it's honestly pathetic. It disgusts me. These idols disgusts me. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick in my little bubble of the few groups. So when I say few, I mean literally like the 4 groups that I still like. And I'm gonna mind my business. I'm just tired. I'm really tired. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry, I know that this was basically a rant video, but I did warn you. There is no happy ending to this video, because I'm sure another thing is gonna pop up tomorrow. Like, it's just been constant. So yeah, I have nothing to really say. If you enjoyed this, thanks. If you like to follow me on my social media, it'll be linked in the description below, because I'm back on social media now. Who knows though, it won't last long probably. Catch me while you still can, on Twitter at least. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.